Hello crafters, Raquel here with Paints and Glitter, and today I'm coming along with Remember When We Dance, my memory book collection. This is the newest die set in the memory book line from Tonic Studios. It contains a total of 82 dies that are going to allow you to create not only a mini album but also a box. I'm going to be using for this tutorial the largest page available for the book, which is this that I'm holding in my hand. And this is going to create all of the pages in this book and the front and back covers. What I've done is I've cut it down to where you see the little notch there. I've used smooth white card for all of the pages, and then I've also used this die here, which creates the spine. For that, I've cut it down twice using ballet pink card from the Craft Perfect collection of papers from Tonic Studios. And then I've used a piece of smooth white card, which does measure 3 inches by 3 7/8 inches tall, to create what will be the interior spine of this mini album. I am going to be doubling this up later on to make it far more sturdy. But to begin, I did color all of these pages using Nuvo embellishment mousse in the color pink, Bermuda pink, sorry. And as you can see here, what I'm doing is that after scoring this spine piece, I did score it at 1/2 inch on both sides, on the 3-inch side, that I'm going to apply my adhesive, and then this is going to adhere right onto what's going to be the front and the back covers. So I am going to be using a bone folder to burnish all of the folds as well as all of the adhesive here. But in the same manner, I'm going to apply that deluxe adhesive right onto the back page. And all I do is that I line it up using the grid on my table here, or of course using the shape of the mini album. But here's the spine piece, and this creates what will be the hinges that will hold the pages in your book. You're going to be cutting it twice for this particular tutorial, and you're going to be folding this paper in an accordion style. So the very first fold on both sides will be a valley fold, then followed by a mountain fold. Now when you fold this into a mountain fold, you're going to get that little crevice there, and that's where you're going to apply your adhesive. So that's on the wrong side of the paper. Make sure that you burnish this and do give it time to dry. My tutorial is going to be a little bit on the fast side, just so that I don't take up too much of your time. But you feel free to play this at the speed that is comfortable for you. You can pause the video and make reference to what you see here. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. So here I'm going to be repeating the same step as I just did on the one side of the paper. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other. And then I'm going to start folding and manipulating this paper so that I get my 2 hinges that are going to be part of this spine. So it might take a little bit of time to allow that adhesive to dry, but you're going to get 2 mountain folds here. And I'll show you in a moment what that ends up looking like. And this paper, of course, you want to be able to move back and forth, but there's your 2 hinges. And because you do need movement and a little bit of stretch in that paper, that's why I'm using the Craft Perfect and not the 300 GSM. If you use a thicker card, it will start to crack. So here I'm placing adhesive on the back, and these are going to be placed right on the spine of the book. And what I'm explaining is that you want to make sure you can open and close your pages, so don't place it too close to either one of those folds. I generally leave at least a 1/16 of an inch in space between that hinge and the fold in the paper. But of course, you're going to gauge this depending on how thick you want your embellishments to be and how many flips and flaps you want to add to your book. So you gauge how many pages you place in your book, how many hinges, and the distance between one and the other. So you're going to see here that I leave just about the same amount of space between the hinges as I do from the front and the back there. And then I do burnish it using that bone folder, or precision paper creaser, I believe is what Tonic Studios calls it. And now we want to cover up the inside of what's going to be our front and back covers. So using this 300 GSM card is going to give you a nice sturdy finish. But what you see there is that I'm matching up that outer edge first, making sure that's super precise, and then I walk my way toward that fold. Now, if you've cut your paper down, then you should have enough room there to be able to move your page. And then I just use this kind of squeegee that I have in my set of tools for paper creasing and all of that, because it allows me to apply nice pressure. But I'm going to repeat the same process on the back of the book. And I am hiding little magnets in a lot of my pages. This is one of them. So depending on how much interaction you want in your memory book, you're also going to want to take advantage of magnets that you can definitely pick up from Tonic Studios. They're made just the right size for your mini albums. And they're great to keep your pages attached to the background so that they don't move when you don't want them to. Now I'm going to apply all of the pages the same way in this book, just for the foundation, just to start off with. So I've cut a total of 4 pages that will look exactly the same. Now I'm making sure that the measurement here is the same distance from the top to the bottom of the spine. Then I apply the adhesive onto the hinge, which I'm then going to fold onto that paper. Now the other side of that paper is also colored with the embellishment mousse, and I did that on purpose so that I can decorate the front of these pages using the paper from the collection that I'll be sharing with you. And it is absolutely stunning. So you'll see that in a moment. But I'm also going to be using Craft Perfect papers in just different colors that match. And here you see the result of that. And I do burnish this and make sure that I give it plenty of time to dry before I proceed with the next page. But they're all going to adhere the same exact way as you see here. So here I've jumped over to the last one that I'm adding to this book, which is actually the front or the first page in the mini album. So there you see the results. It comes together super easy. And now we can start decorating. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I decorate the front cover, the inside front cover, and then also one page. So what I've done is taken advantage of those graduated size dies that are in the collection. One of them creates that beautiful beveled edge. The other one has a stippling edge. And here again, I'm hiding a magnet, and I'm just trying to be proactive. I don't plan my pages, so I tend to add a lot of magnets to my books just in case I decide later on to add something interactive or a special type of closure. So here I used 2 pieces of card. One of them was a pearlescent, I believe it's a coffee colored card. I'll list that below. And that decorative paper on the cover. And then this is the inside cover, again using that gorgeous paper. It is just so beautiful. It was really hard to select which ones to cut, but you eventually just have to do it, just cut it. And I'm layering it here with ballet pink card. So you're going to see that the majority of what I colored there with the Nuvo mousse does get covered up, but I did want that beautiful shiny edge on my paper, and that's where I think there's such great value in the mousse, because you can take a simple piece of card and transform it and then add texture if you like to. Now here I used another die in the collection. I cut it out twice, once in the ballet pink, the other in that gorgeous, beautiful designer paper. And then I've taken yet another die. Once I had adhered those 2 papers together, then I ran it through my machine with that die that you saw there, and it creates a slit in the paper. So this is going to create a little pocket on my inside cover. And now I'm using little strips that I have in my stash, and these are going to also be linked below. They add just the right amount of height, and they're thin enough that I could add to the edge of the page. And you're going to see the reason I'm doing this is so that way if I want to add more tags or photos, there's going to be plenty of room, and I can either add them behind this piece or right in that little slit. So here's a tag I created just using 2 rectangular dies from the set. And now I decorated that with a tiny little tag from another die set collection. And you see how it fits perfectly in that little slit. Then this mini album collection also comes with some flower dies. So I've cut them. I think some of these have 4 pieces layered together, others have 2. I did use 2mm wide dimensional adhesive on a couple of them, as you saw there. And now I'm just adding these after having colored into them with either Nuvo drops or some alcohol markers. And I was just showing you there how easily you can go ahead and use that little slit there. So for this page here, as you can see there on that ballet pink card, I'm hiding yet another magnet. And that's because I am going to add a particular style of closure using the dies in this set. So first I'm going to take this crafter's ribbon in ivory white and I'm adhering it onto that green card using the red line adhesive. It's perfect for this type of ribbon, and I am adhering it on the top. However, I'm going to be covering that up with yet another piece of the designer paper. And this is going to cover most of that ribbon, but you'll be able to see some of it. And this is going to be the closure. So you see this die, it is a rectangular die in the set that you can use however you like. So what I'm doing here is using it as the closure on my page, and there is a magnet inside. And now I'm folding that over, making sure to adhere that closed. And on the other side of this die cut, I'm going to secure the rest of that ribbon. This will all get adhered onto that navy colored layer. So that's going to go right on top, and this is going to create one page here, and it's going to be interactive. And I'm also adding another little element here that you can cut out using the die set. It has little leaves embossed right onto it, and it's gorgeous. But here I've created a little hinge for this. And all I did was take a piece of 1/2 inch paper by the height of that little portion. I folded it in half, created a hinge, and this is going to adhere onto the back of that ballet pink card. So all I did was fold it over, apply the adhesive, and this is going to attach. And now I'm applying the same principle onto the pink cardstock. So again, I created a little hinge, making sure that that fold line faces the outside of the die cut. So it's just a little strip of paper folded in half. And this is going to attach to the base of this page. So I've taken yet another piece of that designer paper, and that one is the one with the florals with stripes as well, and it hides that little magnet. This is going to go on top of another matting layer, and this is all going to be part of this first page in our book. So as you can tell, it's going to be nice and sturdy and absolutely beautiful because it has all of those colors, but it will also be interactive. So now, taking advantage of that magnet I had hidden, I can secure the placement of the hinge right onto that book. You can see that it now opens, so I'm there burnishing that hinge one more time. You get to see how this will create a space for at least 4 photos. And now I'm going to attach this entire thing onto the base page that I had already added onto my mini album, making sure to follow all of the shapes there. And that completes the first page. It opens like so. I did decide to add yet another little floral panel here to the back of that navy card. And that was using another piece of the designer paper that has florals on it. And it's all cohesive, it matches, and it's really pretty. Just be mindful that however many layers you add will impact the number of magnets you will need. Now let's make a gatefold opening page, if you will. I'm using the same method, which is to create a little hinge for the side of my die cut. Now this die cut was one piece. I just cut it in half right there in the center, and I did add some decorative strips to it as well. So that's all going to be applied onto this navy piece of card, but it will open. So I'm just planning out my page here. Now that little circle die cut with the bird on it does have a little magnet right behind it. So I am using the low-tech adhesive tape to attach everything and then place my second magnet behind my matting layer. And that was very helpful. So make sure that you use your supplies in ways that help you create your projects. So here the matting layer is going to go on the page, and that way I can secure that magnet and know that it's located exactly where I need it. And then once that's adhered, I can apply those little hinges that I had placed on the outer portion of the die cut. And this is just going to create my little gatefold page. It's super simple, but very effective, especially once you start adding all of your embellishments. So it will hide a photo, but here's the little magnet that's right behind that little die cut. And I am using another die collection from Tonic Studios to create this little embellishment, but of course you use whatever you have, whatever you think is pretty. And then here we're hiding that magnet once again using that beautiful die cut. And I just love that I was able to use the paper by placing the die exactly where I wanted it to kind of create a focal point with that pretty little bird. And there you see how that opens. So be sure to come back. I'm going to share the rest of the pages. Let me know what you think. And as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. And I thank you so much for watching.